fans in South Philadelphia celebrating the Philadelphia Eagles win in the Super Bowl. Welcome to Jules Voto's Photo Focus. These opening video clips were shot with an iPhone. The still images with a Nikon Z8 and a Nikkor 40mm 2.0 Z-mount lens. As I did after the Eagles win in the NFC Championship game, I went to Broad Street to try to capture the celebration. The only thing different was my choice of lens. For the previous celebration, I used my 50mm 1.4 Z mount, and I wanted something a little wider for this, so I chose the 40. I wish I had a fast 35mm Z mount lens. So I used, as I did last time, auto ISO, manual exposure control. My aperture varied between 2.0 and 2.8. I went to 2.8 when I tried to get a little more depth of field. And the reason I wanted something wider was it gets kind of tight. When you get into the crowd, it really gets tight. There's not much room. Last time I was trying to back up to include more people in my shot. So I figured a wider lens would do. My shutter speed was a too slow 60th of a second for a lot of the shots where people are in motion. So I didn't get a really high percentage of sharp images, not due to autofocus, just due to movement, to too slow a shutter speed. And using auto ISO, my ISO varied greatly depending obviously on the light. With the light of some of the buildings, it was lower. When it was really dark, I was at 6,500 up to 12,800 ISO. So, um, a faster speed really wouldn't have worked because my ISO then would have been even higher. So I just shot a lot. I used continuous autofocus and single frame advance. But I think overall it worked out pretty good. And these things are not easy to shoot. There is so much happening quickly, and you're trying to pick the best shots. And one of the things that I noticed last time, and actually even in the past, when shooting things like this, people want to be photographed. So people will say, "Hey, take my picture. Get our group over here." And so it's great. I love doing stuff like that. Now, when I worked for the newspaper years ago, when I would do pictures like this, I needed to get names. And that would really slow you down because you would miss things. And I said this in my previous video on the NFC Championship game celebration. And I'll put a link to that video in the description below. Now, this celebration was very similar to the previous one, except on a little bit bigger scale. So walking back, I decided to try to shoot some different things to just see what I could find, kind of like street photography that I normally would do during the day. So this is a hospital on Broad Street that was lit up in green, as a lot of Philadelphia was on Super Bowl weekend. So I just tried various things. I made sure to shoot some verticals. Now, this scene lent itself to vertical, but I think we tend to shoot too many horizontals. Although I think with the advent of cell phones and people taking pictures with cell phones, I think the opposite is true. People take a lot of verticals with cell phones. So there was a lot of drinking on Broad Street. And as I said, I just tried to get some different type of images that I didn't do last time in the celebration. Now, this is a mural of Richie Allen, who was recently elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And these folks were just kind of passing by. Again, you just try a bunch of different things. I kind of like it, but a lot of times you take a shot, you think it looks good, you look at it the next day and you don't like it, or you think, oh, maybe that is good. And I thought this was interesting of this couple. out sitting outside. I guess this is their apartment. I like the way the beer cans were kind of stacked up. And this was a very interesting car that was parked on Broad Street. And I don't know what kind of paint job that is. I never saw one like that before. And here's a couple kids helping their friend home. It looks like he may have had just a little too much. And this is passing by South Philadelphia High School. And here they go. And this is a little out of focus, but I think it's okay for a shot like this. And one thing I did find after using both the 51.4 and the 42.0 in a dark situation is that it seems that the 1.4 focuses a little better, a little quicker in this type of light. So after this celebration was over, the Philadelphia Streets Department was going to come out and clean up like they do after the Mummers Parade. After the Mummers Parade is over on New Year's Day, the trucks just come right behind the parade and start the cleanup. And it was a very nice celebration. Everybody got along. I saw no violence, no fights. And also, I saw no one climbing the poles. Last time in Center City, Philadelphia, the 18-year-old from Temple University was climbing a light pole. He fell off, and unfortunately, he passed away. So this is on Snyder Avenue going east past South Philadelphia High, and I kind of like this mural. And my ISO here was very high. I believe this was 12,800. But the Z8 is really good with noise. And if the noise is objectionable, then I just turn to denoise in Lightroom and it does a fantastic job. So here I just converted a few to black and white. Not sure if I like black and white or color better for this shot. And then I noticed this railing and this set of steps, and I just took several shots. And I love doing stuff like this, the light and shadow type thing. And I converted some of these to black and white. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I usually publish a new video every Monday morning and Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you have any questions on this video or any comments, please leave them in the comments below. I always try to respond to all comments and all questions. And this is probably my favorite shot of the night. It's just a couple mailboxes, the front door with the blue light, should have been green light, and looking into the room. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.